So I had a problem. I was hearing and feeling a clunk when I was accelerating pretty hard and also braking. And it seemed like something was loose in the suspension structure. So I checked everything and found that my control arms were moving a bit too much, like front to back. So I'm showing the process of control arms, and then also I changed my tie rods, because you have to do an alignment after new control arms, or it is highly suggested, because the control arms just will change over time, and most likely the tie rod isn't adjusted correctly after you change new control arms on. I had to take the tie rods out, and I saw that both sides had leaked fluid, so then I decided to change them fully. But yeah, I'll show all of that. It's just like a kind of visual tutorial. Euro Parts has a good tutorial on doing the control arms for this car, but it's super quick and it doesn't really show the challenges. This is a rusty car, so this is probably how the process will more likely go. What you basically have to do, it's not too much work, but you have to open up 4 things on the control arms. There's one bolt that's a Torx head, E-Torx head, as the ball joint, like pinch bolt, and that's probably the most rusted and hard to get out. At least it was for me on both sides. Then there's a big 19 and 18 side bolt with a nut on the front of the control arm, and that was pretty easy to get off for me, both sides. And then there's 2 E-Torx heads, bolts on the back of the control arm, and those were the easiest with the impact gun, but they were the simplest to get out anyways. The process is just taking out the pinch bolt first, or that's the easiest. Then when you move on to the front bolt, you have to back out this small screw on the xenon thing, and this is only for cars with xenon lights. So it also has this small lever on the left, you can see there, that you can just slip out from the thing. My car has a lot of weird, I don't know how you say it. It's like well equipped. Yeah, it was pretty stuck on there. I had to use a long breaker bar, but still it came out and didn't break any bolts, so that was pretty awesome. This car, which is the 95 2007, so OG 95 after the change, This car, I think, shares this control arms and the bolts with a few GM Opel cars, and I think you can maybe find the same control arms a bit cheaper if they're sold under like another brand name, and you'll have to check that out with the part numbers. But I bought Delphi control arms for Saab. They were like pretty affordable for me. Changed the both sides because both of them had the same movement, but I'm showing only one side on the video. And then I also preemptively bought new bolts because I was really expecting one of them to just snap off, just by judging on the look of my control arms. So this was me fighting the right side pinch bolt. It just didn't really want to come out, and I had to break it loose from the bolt side with an impact and a breaker, and then it kind of screwed out, which it shouldn't, but it did. And then I was able to smack it out more. But it's suggested that you apply some load on the suspension with a jack stand when you take out the pinch bolt. After that, the rest was pretty much smacking the old control arm out. Then you have to change out the xenon holder lever arm thing, just from the old control arm to the new one, because they won't most likely come with. And this is me doing it. So I'll begin showing the toe in and toe out adjustment, so the alignment. This car only has those two possible changes to the alignment on the front, so yeah, it's kind of simple. But first you have to crack open this retaining nut on the tie rod, which I was smacking the wrong way at first, but then after a while I realized that it's the other way. I didn't want to let the tie rod really move with the blows, so I put a big adjustable wrench, just holding the tie rod against something so I can smack on it more. And here I had also opened up the tie rod bolt, which you don't have to do if you're just doing an alignment, but here I saw that my tie rods had to be changed. So, I mean, it's pretty easy if you're doing this already. For the tie rods, you can find tutorials, but it's pretty simple. You just take it out and count the rotations and then put a new one back in. But you're gonna have to do the alignment anyways, because you have just changed control arms. So the process for the alignment, you're gonna do an eyeball alignment, which you can find some tutorials on online, but you basically put the wheels on, and then you put a string from the back to the front wheels and try to measure it so the back of the front wheel and the front of the front wheel have an equal distance, or maybe the front can be a little bit more in, but yeah, try to just get them pretty straight, and then you can drive it to an alignment shop later. But you just measure it, then you jack up the car, you adjust the tie rods with just by spinning the inner tie rod around, and yeah, try to get it straight, and then you're good to go.